You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. Well, the Colorado Avalanche may have just won the Stanley Cup, but we're not going to have to wait until the fall for the return of Canada's favorite winter pastime. Rainbow Stage presents The Hockey Sweater, a musical adaptation of the timeless Roch Carrier story. And to hear more about it, I'm joined by Artistic Director Carson Natras. Welcome back to the show, Carson. Great to see you.
It's always a pleasure to be with you. And you're welcome to everyone else. Keeping hockey season going.
Well, that's just it. So after all of the preparation, the rehearsals, the previews, the Hockey Sweater officially opens tonight. How are you feeling, Carson?
Oh, I'm ecstatic and emotional. And, it's not just the hard work and that goes into putting on a unique production like the Hockey Sweater, because it's unlike any other show that we've ever done. But it's also because I decided I wanted to do the show in 2018, and it's been a long time coming. So it's been, our previews have been remarkable. We had a student matinee at 11 o'clock this week, and we had 1,500 kids in there.
Wow.
The standing ovation was not like anything I've ever seen before. And then it occurred to me, they're seeing themselves on stage. Like, the leads in our show are from the ages of 8 to 15. And I looked out at the crowd and I was like, oh, these are their peers. And it's really a remarkable experience.
I'm sure it is. I mean, you mentioned over 1,000 kids in the crowd, 1,000 students there taking in the show. That's just the preview show. And again, this runs through July 17th. So plenty of opportunity for people to check out that program. But I want to talk more about that cast. You mentioned the young talent leading the way, acting, singing, skating their way through this production. This is really embracing Rainbow Stage of the future, isn't it? Cultivating that next generation and encouraging them to take the spotlight and to get up there and perform, right?
There's so many layers to it. The musical takes place in 1946, but the show's written in a very modern way. And so the kids in the show represent the future. When it comes to how the musical is telling its story. But it's also Rainbow Stage's future, as you say. The kids are a product of an outreach program called Community Centers to Center Stage. We went to 10 locations in Manitoba, saw over 500 kids, and narrowed it down to these 10. And they're all from Manitoba, with the exception of one whose parents are both on our Wall of Fame. So his parents were longtime Rainbow Stage performers, and they now live in High River, Alberta. And we were like, you're part of the family. Come on over. And we have kids who have been playing hockey since they were 3, and they're learning to sing and dance. And we have singers and dancers who've been dancing since they were 3, learning to play hockey. And they support each other. They're a team. And they look out for each other because, from 15 to 8, it's a little microcosm of what a community looks like.
So often we talk about the team element of music making, but this is literally a team. I mean, the story of the Hockey Sweater, one team versus another, and one sweater a little bit more important than another. Can you remind us of the story, Roch Carrier's story?
Absolutely. So if the title isn't familiar to you, you may be familiar with the images. So it's a short story that I grew up with, that many kids are given, when they're born and they grow up reading with their parents. And it was a famous NFB film that was always on the TV when I was growing up. And it's the story of a young boy in a small town in Quebec whose mother has to buy him a new Montreal Canadien sweater because he's outgrown it. But because she's filling out English forms in an Eaton's catalog, she makes a mistake, and what comes in the mail instead is the enemy colors, the Toronto Maple Leafs. And she forces him to wear the sweater to practice, and drama, comedy, musical ensues. He's sent to the church to pray and ask for forgiveness for wearing a Toronto Maple Leaf sweater. And what he asks God for is 100 million moths to eat his sweater up. That's where the story ends, for those of you who've read the book or seen the film. But the musical takes it all the way through to its final conclusion, which is what happens when you push through these identity issues to accept that it's not what you wear that matters, it's what you put inside your head. And it asks the whole community, it asks parents, it asks authority figures all to ask themselves those questions. And I think it's the perfect show for families, perfect show for our community now, as we're all coming back together to celebrate what we're capable of.
Like you say, just a really beautiful message as the story continues. And I was one of those kids who watched the NFB film. I remember reading the book as a kid. I mean, I'm really excited to see this musical adaptation, but I'm also really having a sort of tough time imagining what the music is like. Like, I'm picturing choruses from the Blue Line and these breakaway solo numbers. Can you characterize the music a little bit? What can audiences expect?
Sure. The best I can describe it is that if you're a lover of modern musical theater, you're going to love this music. And if you're a lover of classic musical theater, you're going to love this music. It's timeless. And so there's a number called Bonsoir Canada, and it's about, so basically like the French hockey night in Canada. And so you can hear the theme inside of it. You can hear this nostalgia in it while it's telling a news story. You can hear the Hinter Wonderland theme hidden inside of, other beautiful pieces of music. But at the same time, these numbers like 10 feet tall, these kids imagining what it feels like to be on their skates and to grow up. We stick together. It's like this charming, beautiful number with all the 10 kids figuring out how to work together in a very sort of modern way. And and then when they go to the church to pray for the moths, you get a gospel choir of moths. It's like you get so many different kinds of musical themes that all tie together in the end. And it doesn't matter what age you are, it's music that you are going to love.
Yeah.
I've been telling people, sometimes you go into a theater humming the tunes on your way in because you know the show. This is what musicals were always meant to do. You're meant to come in, see a show that you don't know anything about, and then you leave humming the tunes. And it's a musical that you are soon to know and love. So you only have until July 17th to get your ticket. So we'd love to see you there.
Yeah, the mark of a great musical. The last thing I want to ask you, Carson, is in
Sure.
addition to all of your duties as artistic director of Rainbow Stage, you took the directorial duties of this production to open the 2022 season. You mentioned how long and winding the road has been to get here, to get back to Rainbow Stage, and to get back to really what Rainbow does best. But as one last note, as the director, you just must be so excited about returning to the stage, to Kildonan Park, and then having this sure sign and sound of summer, the lit up stage and everything. It just must feel so good to be back doing what you're doing.
It's incredible. And I have never directed a show at Rainbow Stage while I was also the artistic director. And I have so many people to thank. Our staff is small but mighty. And we put all the media together ourselves and build these beautiful souvenir programs that people can take home. And I've brought together such incredible artists to choreograph and music direct the show. I think I'm going to have, I'll probably crash after it opens, and then I'll have some perspective on all of it. But right now, I feel supported. I feel grateful. And all I have to do is look at those kids and the parents who volunteer every night. Sorry. And stand. I was watching last night. I wasn't even watching the show. I was watching the moms of the kids stand off on the side in their volunteer pennies so that they can see every single performance of their kid. And that, I don't know, that makes it all worth it.
Yeah, you can just hear how much it means to you and how much it means to all of us here in Winnipeg. I mean, it is a unique experience to go down to Rainbow Stage, so why not check it out with the entire family? It opens tonight, The Hockey Sweater, The Timeless Tale, running through July 17th. For more details, you can head to rainbowstage.ca. Carson, as always, great to see you, and have a wonderful show. I'd say break a leg, but something about people on skates on Rainbow Stage, it seems a little, dicey to say at this point.
That's right. We actually met the Roch Carrier the other day, and he gave us something else to say. So he's 85 years old. We got the whole cast on, Zoom to say hello to him, and he told us about the theater tradition in France and in Quebec, where you say merde. So that's what we're saying to each other in this classic Canadian French story told in English, but as opposed to break a leg, which sounds a little dubious once on rollerblades, we say merde.
Yeah, exactly. So merde, and thanks for taking the time, Carson.
Thank you.